believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Feeling good, bad, happy, say what? Who knows the words? When you gonna make up? Turn around and break up. Oh, turn around and break up. Woo, woo, woo. I just can't see. I think you know the word. Sing. What's it? Turn it out. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You gotta keep on trucking. That was Mary Beth, good friend of mine. We've been knowing each other over 35 years.
Since you were born. That's
right. There's some people you've been friends with so long you have to stay friends. They just know too much. You can't even go there with the being upset with each other thing. It's just, yeah, you gotta keep it there. I'm telling you. So, welcome to A Course in Miracles. It's a course in correct perception. It teaches if we have a correct perception about anything, it's a miracle. I tell you, that's why it's called A Course in Miracles. And it's very important to keep on remembering the mental condition that allows you to hear it is remembering that you need not believe it, you need not accept it, you need not welcome it. Some of it you may find hard to believe. Some of it might be quite startling, and you're not asked to judge the ideas at all. You can, but if you use it, you'll see that it works. If it looks like it's not working, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means you're not working it. Sorry. There's no such thing as doing the Course in Miracles and not getting the result. It just doesn't work that way. So it's a difference between hearing something and applying it. It's a big difference. And sometimes people think just hearing something, it means it's supposed to start working. Because you hear me say something from the book, then your life is supposed to change. You know, the recipe book gives you the instructions for baking a cake, but you know you got to put it together and put it in the oven. So most people, they get the recipe book, the cake doesn't get baked, and so they just go out and get another recipe book. That's what we do when we go from thing to thing, book to book, teaching to teaching, workshop to workshop, and then because we're not applying anything to any of them. And so it's just like the person getting the recipe book and never doing anything with it, but expecting the cake to be baked. It's not going to work that way. So today we're going to start out. Beth is going to sing a song to open it up for us, and she's also going to be the finale. And because I just love the way she sings. And let's make her feel welcome. We're going to start off with Beth. Let's give her a Course in Miracles. Yeah. And I'll accompany her by singing in the key of Be Quiet. That's my key. That's my singing key. Be quiet. All right. So if you don't know the people around you, take this as an opportunity to greet somebody while we're setting up this room. Be sociable. Get out of your shell.
I'm John.
You are sustained by the love of God. 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 I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. Good God. I am sustained by the love of God. Good God. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. Good God. I am sustained by the love of God. Good God. I am sustained by the love of God. Yeah. Oh.
I'm going to get him to sing with me on Put a Little Love in Your Heart. There was a, but not right now.
Not right now.
That's right. She's going to do. That's right. She's going to do something else that's going to move our souls.
Yeah, we're going to move your soul.
Move your soul.
We're doing so much soul music here. I'm going to do People Get Ready.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming. No need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. And you don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. You just thank the Lord. Well, people get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Well, faith is the key, open the doors and boredom, for there's no hiding place against the kingdom's throne. No, the kingdom's throne. There ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who'd hurt all mankind just to save his own. Mr. Trump, pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There's no hiding place against the kingdom's throne, and don't you forget it. So people get ready, there's a train coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. You just thank the Lord. You just thank the Lord. And you just get on board, children.
Let's give it to us some more. Test it. Right, you can tell she's my friend. I'm telling you. I tell you. Now, people get ready. There's a train are coming. Don't need no what ticket. You just get on board. No baggage either. Well, that pretty much rules us out. No baggage. All right. We're going to be in the Course in Miracles and continuing in lesson 135. And we're going to be on page 254 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version. And we're going to start with paragraph 15, which starts out the mind engaged. The mind engaged. Now, what I would like to invite you to do is to try to remember one thing. One thing. It would be better to remember one thing than to try to remember everything. If you could walk away from here today with one idea that you're going to try to implement this week, that would be 1,000 times more important than thinking that you need to understand what I'm saying. One of my favorite lines in the Course is it says, your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. It does not make it what it is. And I love that line. Your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. It's utterly unimportant to the truth. Because we do things all day long and use things all day long and we don't understand. We don't understand how this might work. In most cases, you don't understand how, everything in here, most of us don't understand how any of it works, but it works and we know how to use it. And it's our capacity to use it that's important, not understanding it. I don't need to know how electricity works to get the lights to work. You don't have to understand God to get God to work. So stop thinking your understanding is so important about what truth is talking about. You know what I mean? But this is one of those sections that doesn't take any prisoners. So I totally understand if you decide after this class never come back to another Course in Miracles. It's going to mess with you. It's going to, especially if you are totally believing you've got to do everything on your own and there's no sense of a connection with the higher power within you at all. It's going to really be a challenge. Because it's going to bring up all your fear about your capacity to take care of yourself on your own, which is what's creating the problem. So I'm going to go slow. I don't care about going fast. It's not important to me anymore. The mind engaged in planning for itself is occupied in setting up control. So a mind is trying to set up control, is planning for itself, because a mind engaged in planning is occupied in setting up control of what's going to happen in the future. The plan is just you trying to set up control of what's going to happen in the future. That's all planning is. You trying to control the person. I put it this way, I'm not going to say you. I'm going to stop saying you. Okay, I'm just going to talk like I'm talking about somebody else, but you know I'm talking about you. Okay, but I just want to say some people, somewhere, sometimes. Southern people. Oh, this is my favorite time of the week. It's the time I get a chance to spend with you.
Me too.
You know, I'm telling you, it is so good to be with you. And you just get cuter every week.
You too.
Me too. Am I getting cuter?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your correct perception. I appreciate that. So a mind that's engaged in planning for itself, what is it trying to control? What's going to happen in the future. And it says, you know why? Because the mind that's trying to plan for itself doesn't think it's going to be provided for unless it makes its own provisions. So a person that's planning is trying to control what's going to happen in the future because they don't really trust that they're going to be provided for by Spirit, God. higher power. Say it again. People who are engaged in planning for themselves, trying to control what's going to happen in the future, according to the Course, they don't think they're going to be provided for unless they make their own provisions. So time becomes a future emphasis. What does that mean? You're always focused on what's going to happen in the future if you're planning because you're trying to control what's going to happen in the future because you don't think God's going to take care of you. See what I mean about the challenge of this? But remember, we said in previous weeks that a mind that's healed is not engaged in planning for itself. It's carrying out the plan that is receiving from Holy Spirit, the higher self. So I'm not saying you won't be doing things. You'll just be doing things under orders. And the orders will be based on what's going to give you the greatest amount of joy and peace. Okay, so I'm not saying it's going to look like you're carrying out a plan to people around you. It's going to look like you're planning, but you're not really planning. You're just carrying out the plan you're being given by your inner self. See the difference? All right, it's a difference between me planning and then receiving a plan. Because the plan that you receive is the plan that will allow you to be provided for, which means that you won't need to come up with your own plan trying to figure out how you're going to be provided for. So, if you are engaged in planning for yourself so that you can control everything because you don't think Spirit is going to take care of you, don't feel guilty about that. Guilt is never the solution. And the Course teaches that our first go-to attitude is, oh, I feel guilty because I really don't believe it. According to what he's saying, I really don't believe I'm going to be taken care of. And that's why I'm planning right now. It's like, it's just telling you the truth. It's not judging you. Just like, there's no point arguing with the fact. Like, I'm cute. You don't need to argue with that. That's a fact. You're cute. No point. No, we don't argue with that. That's a fact. Don't argue with facts. You're innocent. That's a fact.
Thank you.
You're holy. That's a fact. You're creators. That's a fact. Okay? So I'm taking this slow so we hear it. Then it goes on to say, time becomes a future emphasis. How would you control time? How would you control what's going to happen in the future? By learning and experience obtained from past events and previous beliefs. So I'm focused on what's going to happen in the future, and I'm going to control what's going to happen in the future by the learning and experiences that I've had in the past. I'm getting ready to control what's going to happen to me in the future based on the beliefs and experiences that I've had in the past. So what does that mean? It means you're going to overlook the present. I'm planning, let me get this straight. I'm engaged in planning for myself because I'm trying to control what's going to happen in the future because I don't think God's going to take care of me. So therefore, I'm going to focus my attention on what's going to happen in the future, and I'm going to use my past experiences and beliefs as the way to direct my choice about what's going to happen. And since I'm so focused on what happened and what I've learned in the past to create what I want in the future, I'm overlooking right now. I'm totally not now. And he says, because all of this planning rests on the idea that your past has taught you enough to let the mind direct this future course. I think I've learned enough in the past to let my mind direct what's going to happen in the future. I think I'm just really clear, I'm going to have a different relationship this time because I'm going to use all the experiences I've had with other people in the past to plan what's going to happen to me in the next relationship. Y'all see the fallacy in that?
Yeah.
So I'm using the way I used to be to control what's going to happen to me. I'm overlooking the way I am right now.
Good luck.
You know what I'm saying? I am not the man that you were with in the past. I'm literally not the man that you were with in the past. Literally, I'm not the man you were with in the past. Literally. So do not judge me based on what you went through with John. I'm not John. I am not John. So you can't judge what's going to happen to you in a relationship with me based on what happened to you with John. But he's saying, I'm just using an example, because that's exactly what the Course in Miracles says that we do. I don't think spirit can provide me with a loving, holy, healing relationship, so I'm going to plan for the relationship that I want, and I'm going to do that based on the experiences I've had with other people in the past. So I'm overlooking who I am right now, and I'm overlooking the fact that they are not who I was with.
Yeah.
So that means looking at a relationship or any new situation correctly would mean you have to be willing to trust and to open up and to recognize they're not your past. Sorry, you can't be guaranteed you're not going to be hurt. There's no guarantee. So you'll never know a real relationship if you're staying shut down because you're judging them based on what somebody else did to you, and you're trying to make sure that doesn't happen again by treating them as if they are the same person that you were with before. And that's the way most of us, that's why we attract the same people over and over again. Why not? I'm using my past beliefs as the criteria about which to judge who to go out with. Of course I'm going to be attracted to the same person I had in the past. Because I'm overlooking who I am right now, and I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago, and I'm overlooking the fact that they're not. So the Course is telling us that we believe that we've learned enough in the past that we can direct our future course. That was one paragraph of A Course in Miracles. One paragraph. Wow. Okay, there are 1,122 pages. That was a paragraph. Okay, because it figures if it says the same thing 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times, maybe one of them we'll hear. So that's why you never have to spend any time with the Course in Miracles on any particular paragraph or sentence trying to understand it, because it's going to say it again another way if you just keep going. It's okay. But don't tell yourself there's no need to read the whole book because it's saying the same thing over and over again. That's a trick too. Oh, I don't need to read it because the Course in Miracles just saying the same thing over again. Yeah, that's because you're not getting it. Okay? All right. So the mind, okay, here's another one. I apologize for Jesus. The mind that plans is thus refusing to allow for change. So if you don't want to change, you plan based on what you've learned and experienced. That's what a person does who doesn't want something new. Then it says, what does that mean? Like anytime you read the Course, you go, what does that mean? It means what you have learned before becomes the basis of your future goals. Notice it's saying the same thing another way. What I learned before becomes the basis of my goals in the future. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means you're using your past experience to direct your choice of what will happen. You're using your past experience to direct your choices about what will happen. You're using your past experiences with money, for instance, to direct your choice of what's going to happen with you next financially. You're using your past experience of relationships to choose how you're going to handle the next one. You can apply the truth to anything in any situation equally. That's the beauty of it. What does that mean? Well, it means you don't see that here and now, right here and now, right here and now, right here and now, right here and now is everything you need. You're overlooking that everything you need is right here and right now. That's why you're focusing on the past, he's telling us, and that's why we're trying to use our past experience to direct what's going to happen. And let's face it, the reason why you're so busy planning is you don't believe in your Creator. And you have no knowledge of your Creator and His power. That's why you think you have to figure it all out on your own. That's pretty obvious if we be honest.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't take a genius to get that. If I really thought I was going to be taken care of and directed by something that knew more than me, I wouldn't be busy engaging in planning. I'd be trying to listen to how I could get the plan. I wouldn't be coming up with mine. See, I thought I believed in God till I started reading the Course. And that was the biggest breakthrough that I ever got in my life, when I stopped being in denial about my spiritual awareness and connection and growth. That's when I started to develop one. But I was always going, yeah, I believe in high power. Yeah, I believe in God. Yeah, I was a bunch of crap. I didn't really want to believe in God and nothing. I just said it. How do I know? Because I have fear and I'm playing it. I'm not being loving and listening. I'm being fearful and planning. I'm not being loving and receiving the plan. A conscious being is being loving because they know their reality is going to be a reflection of their own inner energy. and they're trying to listen to what their higher self is telling them to do. A person that's in fear is intensely engaged in planning for themselves because they don't believe they're going to be taken care of, and they're using all their past experiences, which didn't really work, that's why they're so busy planning, to direct the next thing they're going to do. The Course says the way that we think and communicate makes total sense until somebody says it back to us. See, I'm just saying back to you what we do. And you're like, it's the truth. You're innocent, you're not being condemned, but at the same time you haven't developed a faith in your Creator. That's all. God doesn't have an ego to get offended by that. Love doesn't have an ego. Fear does. All right, so you're not bad, you're not sinful, you're not guilty, you're not bad, you're not sinful, you're not guilty, you're just making an error. I'm just making an error. We're just making an error. An error is for correction, not punishment. All right. Do you know that right here and right now is everything that you need to guarantee a future that's completely different from your past? And what's a future that's different from your past? What's a future that's different from your past? It's a future without a continuity of old ideas. It's a future that's different from your past is you not continuing your old ideas and your old beliefs. Wake up! Okay, now. Some days I feel like a lot of sleeping in my face, sometimes I don't. Okay. All right, now. So what's an old idea? It's a sick belief. Course in Miracles said, you jokers got sick beliefs. Your beliefs need to go to the hospital. Y'all got some beliefs that's very screwed up. They're sick. What are you? Earl Purdy's belief. I'm a sick belief. I love the Course in Miracles. I mean, the book said sick beliefs. You know, you hear sick bodies, but you don't hear the term sick beliefs. But your sick body is coming from a sick belief. It's the sick belief that's creating the sick, unhappy body, right? So it says, now when you're conscious, anticipation plays no part at all. So that means that you're not really into anticipating what's going to happen in the future. You're not busy worrying about and anticipating what's going to happen in the future. When you're in tune with spirit, you're not anticipating what's going to happen in the future. Why? Because your confidence in right now is going to direct your way. I'm so confident in the truth that I'm learning right now that I'm going to let it direct me so I don't have a lot of anticipation going on. Anticipation is like me wondering what's going to happen. But I have present confidence in this truth to direct my way. I have present confidence in my relationship to spirit to direct my way. So that's the way you are when you actually have done what this is teaching you to do. That's the kind of person you will be. You will have no anxiety, no worries, and no cares.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
None. Zero. You won't be worried about nothing. Zero. Zilch.
Like all the time?
All the time. When you really get it, then you will not have any cares, any anxieties, or worries. Because all of the things that's making you unhappy, you recognize is coming from your plan. Yeah, when you let go of your plan, that's when your happiness begins. Because remember, he's saying to us, I'm not trying to put you down, but you don't make your plans, Earl, based on anything that's happening right now. You're continually making all your plans based on the idea that you don't think I'm going to take care of you. And you also are using what you went through in the past and the things you learned in the past, which by your own admission is why you're studying this, is because you learned that the things you learned in the past were not reflections of the truth. Like you were a victim, you were a body, you were separate, you were on your own, that you were guilty, that you were fearful, that you can't trust, that you're in a world that you have to be afraid in. He says, these are your previous beliefs, broken into by periods in which you think everything is going pretty cool. Right? So he says, you don't want to use your plan because your plan is not based on anything that's true. It's like me thinking I'm a rabbit. So I make all my plans based on how good I can hop. Right? The mere fact that I'm not a rabbit means that every plan that I make is going to be made on a wrong assumption, so none of them are going to work out. So he's trying to tell us that you guys don't even have the slightest idea of who you really are. that you're infinite beings, that you're innocent, that you're creators. You don't have the slightest idea that everything that's happening to you is being created by you in your own consciousness. You don't have the slightest awareness that you are an eternal being inhabiting a physical body so that you can come to the remembrance of who you are as love and be a conduit for that love to come into this world and heal it. You think it's about getting a new refrigerator. You think it's about the next house, the next car, the next sex, the next relationship, getting your own business. Y'all just completely and totally off base on everything that you're doing, and you're wondering why you're never happy. You're not guilty. You're not bad. You're just not doing anything that's based on who you really are and on what you learned by people who also didn't know who they were. And then you're wondering why things don't work out. Because you're not who you think you are. That's what it's trying to tell us. So you are not alone. You have a teacher. You have a mentor. God is with you. A higher power is with you. But you need to get all of the beliefs you have that keep you from hearing that voice out of the way so you can be given the plan for your happiness that will last forever. Yes. You can receive it. I'm going to throw it over for questions in just a second. Okay. Just a second. Hold on just a minute. Let me get you. Okay. And so I need to recognize, first of all, that my plans will not work because none of them are based on the idea that I'm totally innocent, totally beautiful, totally loved, not alone, and I'm a spiritual being and I'm unlimited. They're based on the idea that I'm a human that's out here trying to make it, hoping that I won't be a victim of something until I freaking die. Hoping I can get a relationship with somebody that give me some validation about who I am so that I can have a little bit of feeling good about myself. I imprison them to make sure they don't give it to nobody else. And I call that happiness. Provided that it don't rain. But we know we're these unbelievable spiritual beings that if it rains, So in this book straight up, I mean, can we be honest? It's just telling it like it is. It's not condemning us. And to the degree I want to hurt and punish myself and suffer would be the degree that I can't let myself hear it.
That's it.
That's it.
That was it.
That's it. That's
why
it.
Don't we want it? Why don't we want no anxiety? Why don't we want everything to be taken care of?
Because we're crazy. He says it's because we're crazy. And crazy in the sense that we've learned insane lessons even though we have sane minds. That if we ever learned sane things, we'd be sane. But we didn't learn anything that was sane. We learned punishment is salvation. We learned that suffering is how you get to happiness. And so therefore we believe punishing ourselves and suffering is the way we get what we want, which means we have to go for the wrong relationship. We have to go for the wrong job. We have to screw our finances up. We have to make sure that we don't take care of our bodies. Because if I think suffering is the way to happiness and I'm guilty and I'm sinful and I'm bad and I got to obey all these rules that don't have nothing to do with who I really am, then I'm not going to do what this is suggesting because it looks like it's the opposite to the way I've decided to be healed. If I'm guilty and a bad person, I need to be punished. If I'm told I'm not enough and I'm not loved and I'm not perfect and whole, then there's a part of me that doesn't believe I deserve to be happy. And since I don't believe I deserve to be happy, I have to have that validated. And what a better way to validate that than to give myself a life I don't enjoy. Because that's my way of trying to heal myself. I'm going to suffer until I have paid my debt. And until I feel like I've paid my debt of suffering, I can hear all the truth that comes through anybody, anywhere, and I won't do a doggone thing in the scene. I have sentenced myself to 2 years of suffering, and I will not listen to any truth until I had 2 years of suffering. And then after that 2 years of suffering, my self-imposed sentence, all of a sudden I start hearing the truth. And I go, oh, okay, I'm ready to do it now. Okay, you got through with your sentence. So some people won't hear anything that I'm saying today because they've already sentenced themselves to a longer period of suffering. So they go like, I don't even know what you said. No, that's why your butt still want to suffer. And then those who have paid their debt and they feel like they're ready to be happy again, maybe they suffered enough, they've had 9 relationships that make them want to commit suicide, then they'll go, okay, I think I deserve somebody who loves me. Why? Because I have been through enough. Exactly right. Exactly right. Then you let the cool person come in, but only because you think you suffered enough in the past. And this book is saying you don't have to suffer in the past to have a person like that. Just start practicing and being who you are right now. You're innocent now. You're beautiful now. You're powerful now. You just don't believe you are. But your belief isn't necessary. If it's the truth whether you believe it or not. Gravity don't exist because you believe in it. What's true is true whether you believe it or not. That's what's relaxing about it. It's going to be true whether I believe it or not. It's tiresome to believe that nothing's going to happen unless you believe it. Because all day long, you okay, make sure I got the right beliefs about my money. Oh, let me make sure I got the right beliefs about my health. Oh, let me not say nothing negative about my relationship. Oh, let me, and all day long, you're just trying to control everything through your beliefs. Instead of getting, you know what, I'm loved, I'm healed, I'm supported, the universe has my back. Even if I am thinking crazy as hell, there's a part of me that wants to heal me and love me, and I need to get in touch with the part of me that will treat me right, even if I'm treating me wrong. Not, I need to get to the point that I've changed how I am before love can come into my life, and I've changed how I am before I can be helped by God, and I got to change myself before I can be helped. Love lifts you up right where you are. Love doesn't say you got to get to a certain stage before I help you. That's the way we do it. And so we think the universe does it the way we do it. It doesn't. Thank goodness. Thank goodness God's love is nothing like ours, or we'd be screwed. We don't know nothing about love. Period. Woo. First of all, we know we don't know nothing about love because we don't give it to everybody equally. Which is the first rule of love. Our love is nothing about everybody receiving it equally. That's as far in a concept as we can come up with fearful minds. I can just love you. That's it. And that's a strain. That's why people don't want to love a lot of people, because they associate love with hard work. If loving one person is always me having to deal with a whole bunch of stuff, why in the world would I want to love more? That's why sometimes I think people who do multiple relationships, that's just regular special relationships as the world does it, I kind of feel like they're masochistic. Who wants to have 5 relationships the way we do it? You have to be crazy. I would have to be crazy to want 5 special relationship girlfriends. That does not sound like the road to peace. Ain't nobody satisfied. You know what I'm saying? But could I love 5 different people? Yes. Because love doesn't require anything. Fear does. Love just requires me letting all 5 of those people be themselves, honoring them as themselves, freeing them and supporting them as who they are. It doesn't require me to do anything but let them be with love. So I can love everybody in here, but I could not have special relationships with everybody in here. I wouldn't have time. I wouldn't fulfill your scripts. You'd be mad at me all the time. I'd be mad at you all the time. So I don't want special relationships with any of you.
Oh my God.
I want loving relationships with you. I want real relationships with you. So when you talk like I talk, nobody's interested in having a special relationship with you either. So I don't have any problems. Nobody wants one with me anyway. Oh, you're not going to do everything I want to do? I think I'll get somebody else. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm never going to be number 1. Make me 2, make me 3, make me 4. If I'm lucky, put me at number 5 on down. Because you don't let me be. You're not going to let number 1 be. Number 1's got he got to pay for it. Literally. Yeah. He better pay for it.
Oh, I was just scratching my head.
Oh, okay. You sound like you were probing something very good. You were pondering.
Just waking up my antenna here.
So love is easy. Fear is hard. Love is easy. Love is easy. Loving someone is easy. Loving is easy. Loving is easy. Making special is hard. So at least start out with somebody you want to feel special with, that you really appreciate them. You know. So I'm not anti-special. I'm anti-pain and fear. Okay? All right. So the course then goes on to say, defenses are the plans. So another term for plan is defense. I think that's interesting. That when I'm planning, I'm defending against something I think might happen to me in the future that I'm planning to make sure I can handle if it comes up. Everybody familiar with that? So a plan is really a defense against something you think might happen in the future that you got to protect yourself from on your own. Another sign of how it's not based on any kind of real faith and spirit, but me believing I'm on my own in the world. Then he goes on to say it again. He says, what's been learned before, he says, the aim of a plan is to, it's a plan, a defense is a plan you undertake to make against the truth. The aim of a defense or a plan is to select what you approve and disregard what you consider incompatible with your beliefs. That's what you're doing right now, by the way. What you're doing is you're selecting what you approve of what I'm saying, and you are also disregarding everything that I'm saying that you believe is incompatible with what you believe. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's doing when you talk to them. They're only accepting what you say that they approve of based on what their past experience and beliefs, and they're disregarding everything that you say that's incompatible with the beliefs that they have. So as you listen to me, you're going, all right, I agree with that. No, I don't agree with that. Yes, I agree with that. I don't know if I buy that. Yes, that's what we do. We select what we approve and what we disapprove of. Then he says, what remains though, which is the beliefs that you keep, he says, what remains is meaningless. So you keep the meaningless out of what you heard, and you let go of the things that are meaningful in order to keep the beliefs that you already have that have not given you what you want. Isn't that funny? It's like I have all these beliefs that have not given me the consistent happiness that I think I deserve, but I listen to what somebody is telling me, and I only accept what they say that goes along with what I already believe, and then I disapprove of what they say that's not what I already believe, but it's what I already believe that's creating the experience that I'm having. So actually the answer might be in the beliefs and the new thoughts that I'm disapproving of. So when they get through talking to me, I effectively am exactly the same way I was before they started talking to me. Because I have censored the things that don't correspond with my beliefs, and I'm keeping the things they say that correspond with my beliefs, even though those beliefs have proven to me not to give me consistent joy. That's what happens when everybody talks to you. Isn't that deep? Now, how can you tell when you're hearing something that's different from what you believe? You probably feel resistance, or you go unconscious, or both. Because it's opposite to what you have decided is the truth of how you should take care of yourself. Even though the way you think has not taken care of you. I love it when it gets quiet like this. You know everybody's going, okay. Now, it is your reality that is the threat which your defenses would attack. What does that mean? They're gonna, you have a way of looking at things. He's saying that everything that you're hearing that's the reality is a threat to that. And so your defenses take what you hear apart, and it crucifies what you're hearing, and it tries to hide what you're hearing in order to keep the old thought system going. Now, this next paragraph is awesome. Yes. It says, what could you not accept? What couldn't you accept? What could you not accept? What could you not accept if you but knew that everything that happens, all events that happen, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is your good. What could you not accept if you but knew that everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by spirit whose only purpose is your good? You could accept everything if you understood that everything that's happening to you could be used for your good. Perhaps you misunderstood the plan of God. Perhaps you misunderstood the plan of love. Perhaps you misunderstood the plan. Maybe you're misunderstanding the plan. And then he says, the first thing you need to understand about the plan of the Creator is that the Creator's plan would never offer you pain. Nothing that's coming from the Creator will give you pain. Nothing that's coming from love will give you pain. Love never gives pain. Love never gives pain. Real love never gives pain. Real, I know I loved them and they hurt me. What you mean love doesn't give any pain? I just went through the most painful relationship I've ever had because I loved her. She was the one. Yeah, she was the one that was offering you pain. You're right. But she could have been the one that was offering you joy if you had given the relationship to the one who only wants your happiness. So the Course says that, so rule number one, if the plan is coming from the Creator, if the plan is coming from love, it will not offer you pain. See, you have to make a decision in order to finally be able to hear your guidance. See, I don't compromise. like he says, stop compromising. Compromising is what jam you up all the time. You got to make a choice. If it's love, there's no pain. If it's love, there's no guilt. If there's love, there's no, and you can't keep saying, I love you, but I'm mad at you. I love you, but I feel guilty. I love you, but I feel jealous. Then you're mixing the two. And so you can't tell them apart. If there's jealousy and love and jealousy and fear and love and fear, they're not different. So we're being told you guys need to make a clear demarcation between love and fear if you're ever going to have love. So if it's the plan, so I'm making the decision that the plan that comes from Spirit is a plan that is not offering me pain. And I'm not going to compromise with that. I don't care how much my ego tries, no pain, no gain. And if you don't have no pain, then you're not going to grow. Okay, if you believe you need pain to grow, and right now you're going through a whole lot of pain, you ought to be feeling great because you're growing. Because you're the one that's decided you need pain to gain what you're complaining about. That's what Spirit said to me. Well, you said no pain, no gain. I'm giving you some, you got some pain, you ought to be happy. You're getting what you think you need. What you complaining about? Because I've heard people defend pain, right? So the Course says that your defenses did not let you see God's loving blessing. Your plans did not let you see God's loving blessing shine in every step you ever took. While you made plans for death, I'm trying to get everything together before I die. I'm trying to have a good time before I die. I'm going to travel before I die. I'm going to have a relationship before I die. I'm going to have some money before I die. I'm going to lose 10 pounds before I die. No, maybe I won't. I've accomplished everything, but I didn't lose 10 pounds. I'm about to die. Okay. He says, while you were making plans to die, that which loves you, your Creator, led to you gently to eternal life, constant life. So, last sentence, your present trust in the Creator, your present trust in love is the defense or plan that promises a future undisturbed, a future without a trace of sorrow, and joy that constantly increases. Like if you follow the real plan, your joy is constantly increasing. There is not a trace of sorrow, and you have a future that you're completely undisturbed in. You know what I'm saying? Now that's why it's depressing to us. Notice there's no joy that much about what we just heard. Everybody's pretty laid back. You didn't exactly make everybody know what to do, right? Because you're still trying to figure out how you can do it. That's why it doesn't make us happy. Because intellectually, we can't figure out how to have a future with not a trace of sorrow. We can't figure out how to have joy that never stops. So that's why because we think it's up to us to come up with how to do it. But if I really believed that I was in touch with something greater than my own ego, I could relax in that idea and go, wow, that's wonderful. That's awesome. Show me how to have it. No, but I don't do that because I'm still trying to go, okay, but how would I have a future that doesn't have any sorrow? Because I don't really believe in nothing greater than me anyway, and I don't really know how I'm going to do it. So what should I be working on? I should be working on letting go of the blocks to me being able to hear my guidance. I should walk out of the door and say, I've got to learn how to let go of the blocks that keep me from hearing this plan that he's talking about. Not walk out going, how can I figure out the next thing I'm going to do to make me happy on my own, which is only going to be a repetition of something that I've tried before in just another flavor and another form. And I call it my latest plan. But it's really just the same thing I've always tried another way. So I'll end it again. Your present trust in the truth. That's it. Your present trust in love. Your present trust in God is the defense that promises a future undisturbed without a trace of sorrow and with joy that constantly increases. All right, let's give it up to us for even being willing to hear that. Come on, for even being willing to hear it. That's good news. We told you to be happy. I'm telling you. All right, so we're going to do the financial expression of appreciation right now. Thank you for sharing with me. I'm a full-time teacher of the Course in Miracles and the Way of Mastery, so thank you, God, for sustaining me. Thank you for willing to be a channel. Thank you for appreciating what I do with you. I really appreciate that. And Beth is gonna sing another really cool song before we get out of here, which is awesome. Those online, if you'd like to share with me, just go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and you can do it there. And those who would like to have a one-on-one session with me, then just contact me, go to my website. It explains my clarity sessions, and I can show you how to apply this to your experience in a way that's practical and that works. And but remember, our goal is inner peace. Our goal is getting to the point that nothing disturbs us, and we always feel an inward sense of satisfaction and contentment. That's our goal. This is not a class on how to manifest a car, a house, your soulmate, none of that. Okay, this is not what the Course in Miracles is about. Those things naturally show up in the perfect way for you, the once you change your inner way of looking at things. So we're about real change, and real change comes from changing your mind within yourself. The rest of the stuff will take care of itself. People will be showing up, and you don't know what to do. There'll be so many cool people showing up in your life. The ones you are cool. See, uncool people will be looking for cool people to show up. It's a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm praying for somebody that's just the opposite from me. I'm the most depressed person in the world, wanting the life of the party, just wanting to take me out. Don't work that way. I gotta be what I want to have. I have to be what I want to have. So when I stand up in front of the class, I try to express myself in terms of how I would like to be expressed with me. So I have to overcome my bashfulness and my shyness every time I stand up here because I have it. But I have to keep going beyond the limits I try to put on myself. And that's the truth. Whether you believe it or not, that's the truth. Why is it that I can go off in front of you the way I do? Because I don't see you as strangers, I see you as friends. Other than that, you'd be seeing a different person. I'd be acting like you act around strangers, just as reserved as you act around strangers. That's the way I would be acting if I felt like you were strangers. Beth, would you come on up? Yeah. Oh, God, let's welcome her back up one more time. And I'd like to ask your forgiveness for not getting a chance to ask a lot of questions this time around.
You're forgiven.
You know, will you forgive me for what I didn't do? Yeah. I don't know about you. It might be the longest hour of the week for you, but it's the shortest one for me.
Yeah.
Depends on how you like what you hear. You know, but for me, it seems like it goes by fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a warm-up.
Yeah, when I'm really getting warmed up, it's time for me to stop. Y'all haven't really seen me teach yet because I've never taught long enough for you to see it. That's why I do workshops every now and then that last all day, because then I get a chance to really show y'all what I can do. Just show. That's when I get a chance to show off. Hello, Mama.
Hi.
Yeah, look at you. You came on in here. I'm so proud of you. I saw that. Your little cute daughter. How you doing? Yeah, I know that's right. All right, Beth, what you gonna do?
That wore me out. But you know, I mean, it was awesome. Thank you. That very thing of who walks with you. If you knew who walks with you,
Yeah.
I was thinking of that this morning. I thought, where is that found?
Yeah.
And that's something
And
that I
that was
just bam!
Bam!
I know. Because I'm bad, I'm really, really